어릴 적에요.
어디?
하나 쉬어.
새끼가.
기분 상하셨다면.
죄송합니다.
어긋나게 해줄까?
At the beginning of the movie, a former gangster named Taesik is released from prison after serving a 10-year sentence. He returns to his hometown with a small notebook where he has written down all the simple things he wants to do in his new life. Taesik has promised to leave his violent past behind and live a quiet, honest lifestyle. Despite his desire for peace, he is still remembered and feared by the locals who knew him as a powerful gang leader. On his way home, he visits a restaurant owned by a woman known as the Sunflower Lady, who is his adopted mother. Her daughter, Hee-ju, meets him first and, not knowing who he is, tells him her mother is not home and suggests he wait at a nearby sauna. At the sauna, Taesik is fascinated by the modern technology, such as the automatic lockers, and plays with one for a long time. This annoys a nearby man who rudely tells him to be quiet. Taesik politely apologizes, but when he takes off his shirt, the man is intimidated by the massive tattoos covering Taesik's body. Meanwhile, the town is currently under the control of a gangster named Chang-mu. Even the local police are too afraid to intervene when they see his henchmen committing crimes in broad daylight. It is revealed that Chang-mu and another rival gangster, Yang Ki, were actually Taesik's subordinates before he went to prison. Taesik eventually goes to a club to meet Chang-mu, who is surprised to see his former boss. Although Chang-mu shows him respect, Taesik makes it clear he wants no part of the criminal world and leaves immediately. He then visits Yang Ki, who pretends to be friendly but secretly orders his men to keep a close watch on Taesik. Taesik returns to the Sunflower Lady's restaurant and receives a warm welcome from his adoptive mother. Hee-ju is confused by her mother's affection for a stranger she has never met. During dinner, the mother feeds Taesik by hand, which makes Hee-ju feel a bit jealous. Later that night, Hee-ju takes Taesik to the terrace and lays down a strict set of rules for him to follow if he wants to stay in their house. Taesik quietly agrees to all her demands without mentioning his dangerous past. He is determined to fulfill the goals in his notebook, including finding a steady job. However, a corrupt politician named Cho Pan-soo is planning to build a large shopping mall in the area. He needs to acquire the land where the Sunflower Lady's restaurant stands, but she refuses to sell. Cho Pan-soo uses the local gangsters as his personal enforcers to pressure the residents into leaving. The next day, Taesik visits a clinic to inquire about removing his tattoos. He wants to erase the physical reminders of his criminal past, but the doctor informs him that the procedure is very expensive and will leave permanent scars. Despite the news, Taesik remains committed to his goal of starting over. At the same time, the Sunflower Lady goes to Cho Pan-soo's office to confront him. She loudly refuses his offer to buy her land and warns him to stay away from her family. This defiance angers the politician, who views the small restaurant as the only remaining obstacle to his multi-million-dollar shopping mall project. Back at the house, Taesik continues to act as a handyman, helping with repairs around the garage. Two local policemen watch him from a distance, recalling how he used to be the most feared man in town. A flashback reveals that years ago, Taesik was the supreme leader of the local gangs, and both Chang-mu and Yang Ki were merely his low-level followers. After Taesik's arrest 10 years prior, these two subordinates fought to take over his territory. Cho Pan-soo took advantage of their rivalry to rise to political power, using the gangsters to do his dirty work. Now, the politician manages both men by pitting them against each other, promising rewards to whoever is more efficient. In the next scene, Taesik goes to pick up Hee-ju from her math class. While waiting, he encounters a woman who is a teacher at the school. It is revealed that they were in a relationship long ago, and Taesik thanks her for her past kindness before departing with Hee-ju. Later, while Taesik and Hee-ju are eating street food, a young man who is obsessed with Hee-ju starts a fight. He and his friends take Taesik to an abandoned building and beat him up. Taesik does not fight back, adhering to the rules in his notebook. The group only stops when they notice the tattoos on his body, which terrify them. When Taesik returns home with injuries, Hee-ju feels guilty that he was hurt because of her. Meanwhile, Cho Pan-soo opens a massive new club called the Oracle. He tells Chang-mu and Yang Ki that the one who successfully acquires the Sunflower Lady's restaurant will be given the prestigious job of managing the club. Desperate for the promotion, Chang Mu leads his henchmen to the restaurant the next day and begins destroying the furniture. When Taesik sees the destruction, he momentarily loses his composure and strangles Chang Mu, demanding to know what he is doing. His adopted mother quickly intervenes, making the thugs leave and calming Taesik down. Following the incident at the restaurant, Chang Mu and Yang Ki meet and decide to work together to drive Taesik out of town. Taesik, however, continues to focus on his new life and helps Hee-ju with her high school math. He demonstrates great intelligence by solving difficult problems and mentions his own desire to attend college the following year. Soon after, Taesik receives his first paycheck from his job and uses it to buy gifts for his family. He gives his mother a gift, and they share an emotional moment together. He also presents Hee-ju with the camera she had wanted, and once she accepts it, he marks the buy gifts go off in his notebook. The family later goes on a picnic to a lake where they spend the day singing and eating together. That night, an old acquaintance named Byung Jin visits Taesik to warn him. He advises Taesik to move his family away because Cho Pan-soo is a dangerous man who will stop at nothing to get the restaurant land. While they talk, Yang Ki's spies report the meeting to their boss. The gangsters mistakenly believe that Cho Pan-soo has sent Byung Jin to negotiate the land deal secretly. Worried they will lose the management of the Oracle Club, the two gangsters decide to escalate their efforts to remove Taesik's family from the property. Eventually, Taesik saves enough money and goes to the hospital with Hee-ju to begin the process of removing his tattoos. On the walk home, they eat street food and confirm their plan to attend the same college together. While Taesik is at work later, Chang Mu and his men return to the restaurant and begin destroying it again. During the attack, the thugs push Taesik's mother to the ground. Hee-ju tries to defend her mother but is also shoved aside, prompting her to run to the garage to find Taesik. By the time Taesik arrives at the restaurant, the gangsters have already fled. An angry Taesik goes directly to Cho Pan-soo's office to threaten him, demanding he leave his family alone. The politician tries to recruit Taesik as a business partner, but Taesik refuses and leaves. Realizing Taesik will not be swayed, Yang Ki develops a plan to provoke Taesik into a fight so the police can arrest him. Yang Ki sends a group of thugs to the garage where Taesik works. They provoke and hit him repeatedly, hoping he will retaliate so the bribed police can arrest him. Taesik refuses to fight back, and the plan fails. Later that evening, Hee-ju's stalker arrives at the house and mocks Taesik for not defending himself. During the argument, the stalker mentions the death of someone named Do-pil. This topic is highly sensitive for both the mother and Taesik. It is revealed that Do-pil was the Sunflower Lady's biological son. 10 years earlier, Cho Pan-soo had sent Do-pil to kill Taesik. During the ensuing fight, Taesik killed Do-pil, which led to his long prison sentence. After the death of her son, the Sunflower Lady visited Taesik in prison. She saw his genuine regret and realized he needed a family, so she eventually adopted him as her own son. Hee-ju overhears this story and tells Taesik she forgives him, noting that her biological brother used to mistreat their mother. The next morning, the mother discovers Do-pil's old diary. The entries prove that Cho Pan-soo ordered the hit on Taesik years ago. She uses this information to blackmail the politician, threatening to go to the media unless he leaves her family alone. Instead of backing down, Cho Pan-soo decides to eliminate the threat. He enlists Hee-ju's stalker, who has now joined his gang. While Hee-ju is walking home from school, the stalker strikes her in the head with a brick and flees on a bike. Taesik and his mother rush to the hospital, where they find Hee-ju unconscious with severe facial injuries. Devastated and fearing for their lives, the mother decides to give up the restaurant and sell the land to protect what remains of her family. Taesik visits Cho Pan-soo and the gangsters to inform them they are leaving town. The politician insults him and demands Taesik cut off his own arm as a price for their safety. Taesik is prepared to do it, but Cho Pan-soo stops his men at the last second and lets him leave. While Taesik is at the hospital with Hee-ju, Cho Pan-soo orders Yang Ki and Chang Mu to go to the house and kill the mother. The politician wants her dead to ensure the information in the diary about his past is never leaked to the public. The gangsters strangle her to death and arrange the scene to make it look like a suicide. When Taesik returns home, he finds his mother's body and is overcome with grief. Because Hee-ju is still hospitalized, he has to organize the funeral and handle the aftermath alone. Shortly after, the restaurant is demolished, and the land is officially seized by the politician's developers. While cleaning, Taesik finds an earring on the floor of his mother's room that does not belong to her. This piece of evidence makes him realize that his mother did not take her own life, but was murdered by the gangsters. He decides to abandon his vow of non-violence to seek justice. Meanwhile, Cho Pan-soo and his associates gather at the Oracle Club for its grand opening celebration. Taesik crashes the party and demands to know who attacked Hee-ju. When the stalker steps forward, Taesik identifies his enemies and tells his only remaining friend, Byung-jin, to leave the room because he is the only one who deserves to live. Taesik then sets the club on fire and begins a final, violent confrontation with 50 of Cho Pan-soo's men. Despite being outnumbered and suffering severe injuries, he successfully kills Chang Yu and Yang Qi by strangling them, just as they had done to his mother. Finally, he kills Cho Pan-soo to complete his revenge. Exhausted and fatally wounded from the fight, Taesik passes away shortly after the battle ends. Years later, it is shown that Hee-ju has recovered and is attending college. In memory of Taesik, she keeps his notebook and continues to write down her own goals for the future.